If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Couple of minutes before the hour, we're joined by Randy Clark. Many of you know Randy, or at least you've seen him from here, and there, and everywhere. Randy, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale. How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, for those of you who may not know Randy, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm Randy Clark. I'm married, been married for 37 years. I have 4 kids and 6 grandkids. I'm a veteran, and I'm retired out of Local 91, Pipe Fitters, Pipe Welders Union out of Birmingham. And I do the litter program here in Sylacauga. And that's pretty much about me.
So, a lot of people ask the question, how did you get started in this? And, you know, I saw you yesterday, I saw him on Broadway yesterday, out near the railroad tracks right there near Bluebell. And then I saw him over at Pinecrest School yesterday, and he doing what he does. He cleans up Sylacauga and picks up trash and stuff like that. And who would ever thought you'd be doing? How long has it been going on with you?
We're probably getting close to 1.5 years now.
Okay.
And it's just a passion of mine. I was looking for a volunteer program to do. And not to say that any of the other volunteer programs are not wonderful, but I was kind of looking for something that people wasn't doing. And wasn't nobody picking up litter. And it was all over our town. And we're getting control of it. People starting to participate. People outside of Sylacauga is starting to look at our program, and they're starting to do their programs, not just countywide, statewide. For an example, Mr. Ziegler called me the other day and told me he wanted to get the state involved. You know, he's got some things going on right now, but they're talking about it. People's talking about it. You get people talking about this, then they start doing something about it. And but my sole purpose, besides getting the word out, is Sylacauga. Anything, any school, anything with Sylacauga's name on it, I want it clean. I want to use our city as an example of how beautiful a city can be. You know, at one time we was called Beautiful Sylacauga. We're going to be called Beautiful Sylacauga again, as long as I got anything to do with it. And I plan on, this is my passion right now. And I guess it will be till we get it cleaned up.
As I said, I saw him a couple of times yesterday. Randy Clark was our guest this morning. And when I first started seeing him several months ago, and there's some pictures of him right there at the Little League field, and you know, they've got sign up going on yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There'll be a lot of kids over there that needs cleaning up.
That's right, that's right. I was over there when I left Pinecrest last night. I went to and cleaned the baseball field, the Little League field, which I'm not saying other folks don't, but I just cleaned up what they did. And you know, like they had a cleanup day last Saturday. Well, you'd be surprised how much. And I've got, it's not exactly all people throwing litter out. That's 50% of the problem. We got other problems that causes litter too. And running over garbage cans. That is one of our main litter problems. We have to keep these garbage cans empty because once trash is in a trash can, it's trash. When it runs over and falls on the ground, it turns into litter. All it takes is a little wind and it's all over town. So I go back and forth with folks about keeping trash cans empty. I'm not gonna mention the city, but I have, these black garbage cans that we have, the stationary cans, not the dumpsters, but these stationary cans, we have to keep those emptied. And I had to make a call yesterday about some of them running over, and I'm sure they're gonna take care of it today.
All right.
But this is one of the things, this is just on the streets of Sylacauga. In our neighborhoods, we got to keep our garbage cans empty.
It's amazing, Randy, how we can accumulate litter or garbage in just a short period of time.
It is. And, you know, the thing about our neighborhood garbage cans, you have to, you can't let your garbage can, you can let it run over, not per se run over, but you can let a bag get full as long as it's in that garbage can. But, you know, as long as I've been doing this, I've studied litter a lot, and I've studied what causes litter, why people litter. And there's several reasons. And you know, when you're pulling your garbage can out to the road, or people that don't pull their garbage can, they just take garbage sacks out to there. Don't put stuff beside the garbage can, because I'm here to tell you, this man that picks that garbage can up, he's not gonna get out and pick your garbage up. Either be nice, either ask your next door neighbor, can you put your excess trash in their garbage can? Or put it back for next week.
What's, Randy, some of the most common litter or garbage that you deal with?
Fast food stuff. Right now, mask or whatever. I don't know why people throw them now. I find old mask, new mask, it's dirt everywhere. Gloves, rubber gloves. I don't know why people's throwing them out. I like to say, I think all people's good. Everybody's got some good in them. You know, some people might have more good than others, but I think all people's good. And I don't think, there's a percentage of it that throws it out, but a lot of this litter is coming from overrun garbage cans. Now, I have taught, let me tell you one thing a lot of people's doing now. You know, we got the take-out, dine-out thing going in now. You can't dine in. What a lot of people's doing at the fast food restaurants, I don't know, I can't ride down the road eating a hamburger. I'm sure those people does it, but I can't. So what a lot of people's doing is going to these fast food restaurants and they're pulling right around in a parking spot somewhere and they're sitting there eating their food. Well, and I've talked to a few of the fast food restaurants in town about putting trash receptacles, trash cans out beside their eating place. So when these people gets out there and they're eating, you and me might find a trash receptacle to put this trash in. But some people is just rolling down their window and looking to the left and looking to the right, throw it down. I don't understand it. I guess we ever will, but some people's doing it. But if these fast food restaurants will put a trash can out there for these people to put their trash in, then it won't blow anywhere. That's one of the big problems we have at Noble Park. A lot of that stuff from Jack's is blowing over. I'm not blaming Jack's, don't get me wrong. And I love all of our fast food restaurants. But they need to help us out. They need to put a trash can outside where people can put their trash in. It's one of the big problems we have at our new shopping center. And like I say, I like to keep everything clean that's got anything to do with Sylacauga. And I know that that's not city property out there, but I've organized cleanups in front of Walmart because it is a Sylacauga Walmart.
Sure.
I've organized cleanups in front of our new shopping center. That is our new shopping center. That's a Sylacauga TJ Maxx, it's a Sylacauga Chick-fil-A, and we want it to stay clean. Now, I know the city doesn't own that property, but I have got somebody backing me that we have sent emails to the property owners and told them that whoever they've got cleaning these properties up are not doing too good of a job. You know, these property owners, for instance, out there, they live in Tennessee. They could care less what goes on in Sylacauga, but we do. And we've sent them emails and told them, and that's really all you can do. And I've been out there and cleaned it up.
Did they respond?
Yes, they did respond. And they said they would take care of it. We'll see. We'll see. And we've got things coming that's going to help us. We got some new ordinances coming in town that's going to help us with this litter program. And that's wonderful. I don't want to say threaten them. We don't do that, you know. We just want to tell them that whoever they got doing it is not doing a very good job. And, you know, if the garbage cans are running over, you don't answer them, you don't empty them but once a week. Let's empty them twice a week. That's not hard, you know. That's not real hard at all.
I saw a story. This was in the Talladega County Commission. They met and they were talking about different districts having issues with garbage, and it's just everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And they don't have the people to be able to pick up the garbage and stuff like that. So what do you do, Randy?
Well, I try to watch all the city work sessions, all the city council meetings, and I also watch this, and I'm glad you said that, because they was talking about it. That's why I do these little
Conversations.
That's why I do these. They're paying attention. It's just like one of the commissioners said, he told them the other night, he says, look, if we don't start doing something, he says, we're going to have a packed house in here. He says, my phone is ringing off the hook. People want these to. We've got other sorts. We, the people, made this problem. I'm not saying me and you did, but we, the people, got to clean it up. Now, I'm not telling anyone to go out on these highways. If you'll notice, I cleaned around Pinecrest yesterday, but I didn't get out on 280. Don't do anything like that. And when you know, if you're having a problem spot, and we've got a couple of them here in town. We've got a couple problem spots. You know, cameras are not very expensive now. Put you a sign up, do not litter here. You know, we've imposed a $500 fine. What I would like to add to that is some community service, which I guess that'll be up to the judge. But I wish they would impose some of that. Because like you said, I think we have 7 departments here in town, and they're all wonderful. They do a great job at what they're doing, but they're all a little short-handed. Some of this community service not only can pick up litter, but they can also help these departments. The rec's a couple of hands short. The street department's a couple of hands short. Put these people doing community service, working with them. Put them with the water department, let them get out there and dig a ditch for about 8 hours. I think twice about littering then.
And I thought about this when you were mentioning the right at Pinecrest yesterday. Of course, I saw you out there. Do you think that kids notice that and they say, hey, you know, Randy, he's out here doing something good. Why don't we do that?
Exactly. That's, I express education all the time. I don't know when, back in the past, that we stopped talking about litter in schools, but somewhere we did. If you'll ask your children or grandchildren, are they talking about litter in school now? The answer is going to be no. And I don't know why. I think they care. It just doesn't seem to be important anymore. And one reason I do this, when the kids are getting out of school and stuff, is where they'll ask questions. I've had bus drivers, parents, teachers, grandparents tell me that their kids said, what's he doing? Well, they tell them. The word's getting around. And it's working. Sylacauga, it's a lot better now than it was a year ago. And you know, right now I'm not getting any volunteers because I haven't asked for any because of the COVID situation. And There's a lot of responsibility when you get volunteers. First of all, safety issues.
Yeah.
And, you know, them little, I really don't have the equipment for volunteers. And we don't pick nothing up with our hands. We use these grabbers that you get at Home Depot.
I saw you one of them yesterday.
Yep, $18. That's a cheap one. They got one for about 30 some odd dollars. It's too heavy, you know. But the cheap ones are the best ones. And gloves. And, you know, of course, masks. But one of these days, I'm gonna get the volunteers back. And they will come. But you have to organize this volunteer program. You cannot decide on Wednesday to do something on Saturday. You got to give people time. If you decide to do it on Wednesday, do it 2 or 3 Saturdays later. And you've got to let them know. You know, that's the thing we have about neighborhoods. I get messages all the time, will you come clean up my neighborhood? No, I will come help you clean up your neighborhood. But the neighborhoods has to be involved. You know, you got the neighborhood watch programs. You've got, you go knock on their door, put a note on there. 2 or 3 Saturdays from now, we're having a cleanup day and wish you would get involved. Be nice, you know. People do a lot more things for you if you're nice. Don't just go, well, you need to help us clean up. Well, that don't work.
So how many days a week does Randy do this?
I used to do it about 30 hours a week. Now, I do it according. Sometimes it's 10 hours, sometimes 15 hours. It depends. Now, when I clean up an area, I like to look back and look at it. You know, it's just like the old construction jobs. When you finish doing a construction job, you look back and you're proud of what you've done. Same way with picking up litter. But I don't go by there the next day because I get frustrated.
I was about to say, I bet you do.
I get frustrated when you go in and clean an area up, and then you go by there the next day and people throw
And I know that y'all had organized groups down at the parks, but you know, I go by there the next day, and you know, I'll raise my hand. I hadn't been one to participate, so I'm certainly not saying anything other than it just seems like that after you work hard, you got those groups there, and the next day there's stuff all over the place.
Right. Well, a lot of it is these garbage cans running over. Okay. They have told me that people are coming by putting their household garbage in there. Well, I have a different outlook than what they do then. I tell them, I would rather them put that garbage in that garbage can than I had throw it on the ground. If it's running over, let's get it emptied. And, you know, that's what I'd like to see residents do. Is when you go and take your garbage can, everybody has to pull it out the end of the road. Because like I say, that guy is not going to get out of that truck. Those days are gone. You know, the old 2 guys riding on the back. That
ain't happening, huh?
That'll never happen again. So what I'd like to see people do is, you know, you can't even buy a piece of bubble gum anymore without getting one of those plastic bags. And everybody's got them laying around. What I'd like to see people do is get 2 of those empty bags with you. When you go and take your garbage can out, put one of them in your car. Take that one that you got full, put it in your garbage can. Pick up right there in front of your house. If your next door neighbor is an elderly person or a handicapped person, be nice, be neighborly. Go over there and pick their stuff up, put it in that bag, tie it up. Now try to get people not to put loose garbage in those garbage cans. Because if you'll watch this truck, what he does, when he picks that garbage can up and he dumps it,
stuff flying everywhere.
Everything that's in a bag goes in that garbage can. When he pulls that garbage can back, it sucks that loose trash out. There we got litter again. So put it in a bag and put it in your garbage can. Don't throw loose trash in your can, because it might stay in there, but most of the time it's going to suck it right back out.
Randy Clark is our guest this morning, and many of you know Randy from his days here in Sylacauga of trying to keep Sylacauga and get it back to Sylacauga the Beautiful. I used to hear this years and years ago.
Yes,
Sylacauga the
yes,
Beautiful. We used to have signs.
We did.
Sylacauga the Beautiful. And I asked Randy this before we came on. I've got one of these things in my phone that counts my steps every day.
Right.
I don't think it's probably good for you to count your steps every day.
No. I might not do it anymore if I counted my steps. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. This is not what I pictured I'd be doing 20 years ago, but I enjoy it now. I enjoy walking down the street and not having to pick nothing up. And I do have a lot of businesses and a lot of residents. I have never had to pick up anything in front of their place. They go out there and do it. Now, I don't mention names. I don't mention names on anything. When I get volunteers, I don't mention their names. And I have a reason for that. One reason, I might forget one of them. Another reason, they don't want their names mentioned. And I don't know. It's getting better, but people have blinders on. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but I'm saying when you drive down the road, you have tunnel vision on that road. My blinders are gone. If you'll take them blinders off, you'll see all this litter on the side of the roads. But help is coming, and I don't want anybody to get on the side of the road and pick up litter. The county's paying attention, the state's paying attention, and as soon as we get out of this COVID stuff and everything gets back to normal, I promise you help's coming. They're going to be out there cleaning these roads up. We just have to take care of our own right now.
How do we teach our children, Randy, about the importance of, you'll be riding down the road and you're maybe a gum wrapper, which is no big thing. But 1,000 people throwing out gum wrappers becomes a big thing.
It does become a big thing. Well, I think it starts in schools. Let's get our Do Not Litter program back in schools. Personally, I think it ought to be taught, and it was when we was in school. If you'll remember, they drilled Do Not Litter on us when we was in school. Somewhere along the line, it just doesn't happen anymore. But I think you ought to be taught Do Not Litter from kindergarten all the way through college. Even us adults have to be reminded of things once in a while. We've got to teach these kids, do not litter. You think it's a mess right now? Imagine what it's going to be 20 years from now. That's another reason I'm trying to get it clean. I don't want my grandkids to go through this, what we're going through right now. And like I say, I don't know when it happened, but somewhere some generations back, the schools didn't think this was important anymore. But it is very important. Now, we do have some teachers that's starting it back, but we need all the teachers telling. If it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day, explain to them, do not litter.
What's some of the more difficult places in Sylacauga as far as, man, look at that street right there, it's horrible. Where are some of the areas that concern you most?
I want downtown clean. That's one thing. And when I say downtown, I don't just mean this street right out here. I'm talking all the way from Noble Park, all the way to the tennis courts, all the way from the Little League field, all the way to our beautiful sign out on 280. I keep that clean too. I go from there all the way to the Little League Park. Now, anything that's got Sylacauga's name on it, and I also do the hospital. I do BB Commerce School. And when I don't do BB Commerce School during school hours, But when that baseball team is out there practicing, or that football team's out there practicing, I'll go around and do the school. One reason I don't do it during school because all the vehicles out there. But I make sure that somebody's out there that sees us picking up litter because they ask questions. They ask their coach, what are they doing? Why are they doing that?
Who's that guy?
Yeah, what are they doing? That's a good thing. That's a real good thing.
So, Randy, how can the viewers this morning, whether in Sylacauga, Montgomery, Birmingham, how can they get involved in their hometown and help get Alabama the beautiful again?
You have to start it. You can't sit back and think somebody else is going to do it. They're not going to do it. You know, that's like I was talking about the neighborhoods. If you walk out there to your driveway where your garbage can's at and you see some litter in front of your house and you just got your blinders on again and you think, well, somebody's going to do it. Let me tell you something. Nobody's going to come do it. You got to do it yourself. You have to do your own programs. Not necessarily work with us. Neighborhood, you got to organize. You got to. Mr. Paul Stepp, he's a wonderful man. I love his page. He helps me organize these things, and we will organize some more after things get back to normal. And they are going to get back to normal. I have faith in it.
So how can people immediately say, hey, I want to help? How do they do that? Can they call you or contact you?
Sure they can. Sure they can. I'll talk to anybody. They message me on Facebook. My name's on Facebook. It's out there. Even if you don't need my help, you want to start your own program, I can tell you what works and I can tell you what don't work. I've been doing this long enough. I really understand it. You know, if you look up what causes litter, it tells you, it mentions the word laziness. Well, this might be true, but I don't like to use that word. I like to use uneducated. I don't mean this person is not educated. I mean they're not educated about litter.
Sure.
And you know, litter is not only nasty. Litter causes germs, causes bacteria, causes fires. It's bad for our animals. It's bad for our household pets. And I'll leave you with one thing that's very, very important. A lot of people don't know this. Litter in your community can decrease your property value by 7%. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is mostly what you was planning on making by selling your property. Well, if you have property in a community that's littered up, just go ahead and take 7% off of it. That's what your property's worth now.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that's a lot.
Hey, we could talk forever about this, but Randy, I do appreciate you coming this morning and sharing about, let's continue to clean up Sylacauga. And those of you who are watching somewhere else, you know, we invite you to help us clean up as well. And if you need more information, contact us here at the television station, go through City Hall, or contact Randy. Let's keep it going. And I want to see you out there by yourself tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Randy Clark, our guest this morning on Daybreak Live, 27 and a half after the hour. Quick timeout, and we'll be back to close things out right after this timeout.